Okay. I have an interesting topic tonight. I have been thinking about this for a while. Topic today. I want to make sure that I have my notes because I could probably talk about this for a long time. um, we're going to talk about habits and specifically habits with meditation. So, something I talk about a lot with my clients is this idea of habits, how habits work in our lives, how habits work with our brain, our thought processes, and all of that. So, in our work together with meditation and the other mindfulness tools that we use, we're really often developing a new habit, something that we haven't maybe done before or something we haven't done consistently. So, it's something the brain isn't familiar with, which is one of the reasons it's so hard to do at first. Um, I'm actually listening to Hello Habits. It's called a book, and I want to share what it says because I just find it really interesting in conjunction with teaching meditation how this works. So it says habits are actions we take with barely a thought. According to a study done by Duke University, habits rather than conscious decision making can shape as much as 45% of the choices we make every day. So we do a lot of things out of habit. um, whether it's good or bad for us, we simply do it because that's what we've always done. That's what our brain knows, right? And so creating a habit, building a habit changes the brain. So I want to dig into this. To make something a habit, it's necessary to remove the emergence of awareness. So in building a habit, we're training the brain to accept it, not question it, not doubt it. The brain has learned we're safe, we're comfortable, and that's all it needs to know to remove the awareness of something new or foreign. So when we're doing something we haven't done before, the brain is often like, whoa, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Is it safe? Are you okay? It starts putting all these questions in our head, all this doubt, all this like fear. And so when we build a habit, the brain knows we're okay, we're good, we got this. So when we do the thing, we can do it really without thinking. We don't have to put a lot of thought into it. And it also reduces decision fatigue. So having a habit, the brain is sort of trained to know what will happen. What will happen if you get asked a certain question? What will happen if you are at a certain place? It doesn't have to think what's next. It knows X, then Y. Like, just think of it that simply. When you're doing this, Y comes next. And that's how habits and the brain connect with each other and how it can be really helpful to have these habits. But there is a problem with some habits. So I want to talk about meditation for a second, because meditation also changes the brain. So I said habits change the brain. Meditation also changes the brain. And you might recall me talking about how meditation with consistent daily practice can actually rewire the amygdala. And that's the part of the brain that sends out those like, whoa, what are we doing? Why are we here? Sort of questions and thoughts. And so we can retrain or change the brain with habits. We can also Well, meditation is meant to make us more aware and more present. So we're not living on autopilot all the time. So you might be asking yourself, why is she teaching about habits and removing awareness? to her clients and in her programs. Isn't that sort of counterproductive? Habits are important. They're how we take that action every day. They're how we move forward every day. We learn to question old habits when we are using meditation. We can take that action with intention and presence and have some thought about why we're doing it. So we often do things because we've always done them. This is just what we know. And we don't question, am I doing this for a reason to move forward? Am I doing this to feel better? You hear me talk about that all the time. I'm very, very, don't do things that drag you down or hold you back. So are you doing some of your habits for a purpose or just because that's the way you've always done things? So for example, maybe you have a habit of sitting down at the end of the day after dinner, whatever that looks like for you, turning on the TV. You sit there, watch some shows, nothing against some Netflix or Hulu binging, let's just say that, but you sit there too long, you maybe go grab some extra snacks, you stay up too late. Do you realize what that habit is doing and how you feel about it? And so that's where meditation and being more present and aware can help us with our habits. It can help us realize what habits we need or want in our lives. So now you know you've done this thing, you've sat there, and now you've overeaten, you don't sleep well because you stayed up too late, you're feeling guilty because you didn't do whatever thing you wanted to do, read your book, move your body, whatever that looks like for you. Now you're being hard on yourself. And so that one habit can have this trickle effect of emotions and feelings and thoughts that go along with that hang out for a while. So being aware of this is where we can start to make changes. If we don't realize how those things make us feel, we can't do anything about it. We'll continue those habits and we'll continue those actions because it's what we know and it's what's safe. So introducing meditation as a habit, as a daily practice, can help us be more aware and present in a lot of areas, including removing old habits we no longer want and building new ones that we know will be helpful in the long run. So I just found this topic interesting as I'm listening to this because, again, we talk about habits so much with my groups, but I was like, they're saying habits are to take away awareness. Like, we do it because we don't have to think about it. And how can meditation, something that we're training our brain to think about it, to process it, to be aware of it, how can that coincide with habits? And so that's where this whole concept came from for me, is that meditation and being present, and I talk about this again so many times, it can help us see what we're doing day to day. It can help us identify what's holding us back, what's dragging us down, what's pulling us away from the place we want to go. And we can then switch gears, switch our focus to what will move us forward or closer to that. And so it's really fascinating to me, and I had to share it. I hope that you enjoy this, because I just really love teaching and sharing about how we can do things every day to do and feel our best. And often we don't do or feel our best simply because we're not paying attention. We don't realize we don't feel good. We think that this is just how it is, how it's supposed to be. Everybody feels like this. And that's not the case. That's not the case. There are things that we can do. So if you have any questions about meditation, or you want to break some of these old habits that you realize are just kind of hanging out there holding you back, reach out, send me a message or comment here. I'd be happy to chat about how you can take action towards just being more aware of the things you're doing and why you're doing them. Like, that's been a huge thing for me, is why am I doing this? Because somebody else told me to, because somebody else did it this way, and that's just what's expected. If I don't do it like this, I'm wrong. Like, why? And so that's one huge, huge piece of meditation in my life, is just being more aware of things and how I feel about it. Is it best for me? Is it best for my family? Is it best for my household? Whatever that looks like for you. So I'm here. Reach out. I would love to chat, and I hope that you enjoyed habits and meditation.